Hi, Stampers. This is Sandy Harco with Stampin' Up. Welcome to the March the 11th Stamp and Go. We meet here every second Tuesday of the month. We create 3 cool cards, and then you have an opportunity to earn a free set of the supplies to make these cards. Tonight, we are using a new set called You're Remarkable. It's an online exclusive that just came out at the beginning of this month. So let's go ahead and get started stamping. All right, this is the set that I was telling you about. You are remarkable. It does not have a set of dies. It is just a stamp set. But you can see we have the 2-step stamping going on here. Or if you don't like that, you can just color in the image yourself. Have some little dots and a cute little bee, which unfortunately we're not using tonight, but I want you to know it's there. It's very cute. All right, this is our first card that we are going to create tonight. And we kind of made it like a window pane design. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is grab the outline image. So it has your flower and your leaves, and we're going to stamp on our foam mat because this is a photopolymer, and outlines are usually not a problem, but later we're going to use the solid stamps, and that's when the foam mat really comes in handy. We're going to stamp this in Memento because we are not going to use our blends tonight. But if you were going to use them instead of the solid stamps, you would use the Memento ink. Otherwise, you can use any black ink you like. Okay, let us ink this up really well. It's the first time we're using it tonight, so let's make sure we get it inked up really well. All right, we're going to position it over our, that didn't look like that flower was totally inked well. I think that's a little bit better. All right, we're going to move it down about a 1/4 of an inch from the top, and we're going to press really well. It will go off the bottom just a little bit. You can see down here, and that is fine. Okay, very good. Now, let's get the ink cap. Actually, we have one more black ink, so let's go ahead while we have that open. We're using the Friends, upside down. Friends are flowers in the garden of life. You will at least have chuckles if you stamp with me. All right, let's ink that up. And that's looking pretty good. We're going to hover over this, center it, and press. Nice. Okay. Now we'll kind of lay this over to the side. And now we can cover up the black ink. We do not need that any longer. Okay, so let's color this in. We are going to use the flower solid image, and we're using Daffodil Delight ink. Okay, so let's ink this up really well. It's the first time we've used it tonight, so let's ink that up really well. Hover over the flower. Now, this is one of those, I'm trying to line that up pretty well. This is one of those where if you're off a little bit, it really doesn't matter, and it looks just fine. So don't be too critical on yourself if it doesn't line up perfectly. Okay. All right, let's close up the daffodil, and we're going to grab our crumb cake, and we're going to use that center that's going to go right over that little crosshatch there in the center of the flower. I actually love what they did with that. Instead of just leaving it blank, that little crosshatch in there is just adorable. I really like that addition. So we're going to hover over that center, rock it slightly, and there you go. I'm going to set that stamp up. We're going to use those stamps later, so I'm just setting them nearby. Let's see. Next thing we're going to do is color in the leaves with the stamp, and we're using Old Olive. So let's ink this up really well. Again, first time we're using it tonight, so we want to make sure we get it wetted up really nicely. Okay, now I'm going to try to find like this leaf and maybe one down here. Usually if we line up 2 of them, everything else will fall into shape. And if we are off a little bit, it's still going to be okay. This is one of those that really looks okay if it's off just a little bit. All right, we're done stamping. And we're going to move our foam mat temporarily out of the way. We're going to grab our card base, which is Daffodil Delight. Opens over here on the right side. And then we have a layer of espresso. And that's what we're going to be nailing our pieces of stamped images in the designer paper to. Okay, a little bit of glue back there. Center this. You'll have about 1/4 of an inch of your daffodil showing all the way around. Now we're going to grab our stamped image and pop a little glue back there. Again, if you use dots, it helps keep your fingers out of the glue. All right, we're going to leave about 1/8 of an inch of the espresso showing here and here. Okay, we're going to grab next the checked piece, the gingham piece, and we're going to put a little bit of glue down here. Isn't that pretty? It's almost too pretty to cover up, isn't it? All right, we're going to nail this one down here. Again, leaving about 1/8 of an inch on the outside edges there. Okay, this is curry, and it has been embossed, dry embossed, with the dashing embossing folder. And we're going to nail this right up here. Again, leaving about 1/8 of an inch on the outside. Try to even that up there. Okay. And the last piece that goes on is a piece of designer paper. And that is going right down here. This is our last piece of the puzzle. And we'll add a little bit of embellishment. So we have that pretty daffodil satin ribbon. And we're going to use a glue dot to hold that on. So I'm going to grab that glue dot, kind of roll it up a little bit, and put it on the back of the knot. Now, in your free card kit, your bows will already be tied for you, so you don't have to worry about that. Then down here, we're going to use some of those totally awesome Drucy embellishments, which I just can't get enough of because they got that sparkle and shine all over the place. We're going to put those in a straight line right across the olive designer paper here. Looks like I got that one up a little high. Let's move that down and this one down a little bit. Awesome. There we go. What is this? This is a piece of tape. All right, we've got 2 butterflies. Now, these came from the sketched butterfly die set. And these are just the perfect size for embellishing lots and lots of things that we do. So I'm going to lift those wings up a little bit, put a glue dot on the back, and this one is flying upwards to the left. Another glue dot here. Let me grab one down here so I don't get them out of order. And we're going to put a glue dot on the back of number 2 and kind of angle her in the other direction. And then your card is ready for sending. Isn't that pretty? It didn't take very long, especially with the coloring, since you're doing the coloring over the stamped image. It just takes a second, so that really reduces the time there. All right, if you are enjoying these, you might want to earn that free card kit where you get the supplies to make 2 of each of the 3 cards we're making. And you do that by placing a $35 order. And you need to do that within a week. So you need to do that by 3/17 and use that host code that is below in the description section down there. So if you want that free card kit, be sure to get that order in by the 17th. If you want an extra set of embellishments, now you'll get embellishments to go on these cards, but if you want an extra set of embellishments, make that order for $50 instead. Okay, let's move these out of the way and start working on card number 2, which looks like this. Isn't that a fun, bright, springy, summery card? Love it. All right, so the first thing that we are going to do is grab this piece that's right here in the center. And we are going to going to do that full flower again. We're going to use this full flower on all 3 of the cards tonight. So we're going to ink this up just like we did before. Make sure you get it nice and wet. And this up, where's my mat? We want to get our mat back here because we're really going to need this with the solid stuff. Make sure we got that inked up. And we're going to come down again about a 1/4 inch from the top, and we're going to really nudge this edge on the left side and then press really well. Awesome. Okay. So the next piece will be the verse, and the verse says, I don't know why I always have those upside down. Sometimes the simplest things mean the most. So this would make a really nice thank you card, wouldn't it? Inking that up, and we're going to come up about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom and press down just like that. Okay. Now we're going to cover that up, cover up our black ink because we don't need that for the moment. And we're going to grab the solid flower, and I'm going to make sure that that first ink is all off of that. We're going to grab our pumpkin pie. Inking up, ink. And again, we're going to try to find a couple of petals that we can sync up with, and then just press down. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, cover up the pumpkin ink. We don't need that any longer. And we're going to grab back the crumb cake. So I'm looking for my crumb cake. Here we go. We're going to do the same on that center again. Remember, this center is the one that has that cute little crosshatch in it. I just think that's adorable. And center and stamp. Excellent. Now, we don't have to clean the leaf stamp because we are going to be using olive again for this one. So we'll open up the olive, ink up our leaves, and we're going to hover. Whoops. Yep, I have that correct. All right, we're going to find like that one and try to match those up as best we can and press. Awesome. Like it. All right, we're going to cover that up. And I think that, we have dots to do, so we need to grab back our pumpkin pie. Almost forgot about the dots. I love dots. I think they're a fun way to just spruce up stuff. So we're going to stamp once up there, and we're going to come down here and stamp again, just enough to give it a little pizzazz. Okay. All right. Now I think we're done with the pumpkin, and that's it for our stamping. So let me move that out of the way and grab our card base. Pumpkin opens on the right side, and now this time we're going to cover it with an embossed piece, and I used the exposed brick embossing folder here. And we're going to layer that right on top. You have just a tiny bit of your card base showing all the way around. Now, the designer paper is from that Ocean Friends set that's in the mini, but look at the other side. Isn't that cool? So we're going to add a bit of glue, and we're going to just center that right here in the middle. Okay, press down. And the next layer that goes on will be our stamped image here. And making sure we have that right side up and center that in the middle of your card. Nice. Now we have a little tiny strip, and that's just going to go across. And doesn't that add a ton of fun to your card? And again, this came from that Ocean Friends set that we have in the mini. Okay. All right. We're going to give ourselves about 1/8 of an inch down here, and then just press and hold for a second. I find sometimes if I let go too soon, it doesn't hold real quick. All right. We have one last embellishment. That's another gold little butterfly from our Sketch to Butterfly die set. We're going to grab, I lifted up the wings as you saw, and I'm going to put a glue dot on the back. Oops, come back here. Did I lose my glue dot? Ah, here it is down here on the wing. All right, there we go. Get right back there in the center. All right. And that is going to fly right up here at the top of sometimes. Isn't that awesome? I really like the way this one turned out. So pretty. Now, if you're enjoying the cards this evening, we also hold classes on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays every week on Zoom. If you can't make the class, you can always ask me to record it, and I'll send you the link for the recording, and you can make those anytime that you want. So check out my schedule on sandylovesstamping.com. If you forget that, it's in the description below, my email address or my blog address. And you can email me at sandylovesstamping at well, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. The blog is sandylovesstamping.com, and I'm Sandy Harka at Sandy Loves Stamping for email. That's all below. So if I get it screwed up, you can get the real stuff below. All right, let's remove these cards and work on our last one. Okay, there we go. This is your easy card. I usually try to wait and do your easy card last, but they're all pretty easy today. So let us begin. We're going to grab back our foam mat, and this little rectangle came from one of the new die sets that was released with the online exclusives in March. And it has notes in the title of it. All that information will be in your your free PDF. So tomorrow, if you're on my mailing list, you'll get that free PDF that has all the information about measurements and colors and sets that have been used and stuff like that. So if you're not on my mailing list, you need to get on there tonight. That link is below in the general sections, the description section down there. So if you get on that tonight, tomorrow morning, you'll get that free PDF. Okay. So we're going to get started here. We're going to do, again, we're going to stamp the image just like we did for the other two cards. Looking for my black ink, and let's ink that up really well. And we're going to position that right in the center. You know, that looks like it needs a little bit more ink. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Right here in the middle. And then press. Awesome. All right. So since we still have our black ink, we're going to grab that little pool party label. And I'm using Birthday Wishes from the Simply Said set. And we're going to hover over, center, and stamp. All right, that is all of the black ink that we need. So let's lay that over here and bring this back. We're going to do the flower this time in Lemon Lolly, which goes really nicely with these Lost Lagoon and the pool party that we have going on here. So I'm going to ink this up with a Lemon Lolly. And we're going to hover over. We're going to find a couple of the petals and center that best we can. Very good. And this time, well, let's do the center since I have the center right here beside me. Again, Crumb Cake and the little center stamp. And that's going right here. Awesome. Okay, close up that ink. And we're going to grab the Summer Splash. And I'm looking for my leaves here. Find that stamp. Here we go. And this time I am going to have to clean it because we don't want that olive in there. There we go. And again, a Summer Splash. Open that up. That's a really stiff pen. All right. Ink, ink, ink. And then we're going to hover. I'm going to like pick this one and make sure that they line up. And if they line up, everything else will probably fall into approximate place. Okay, there we go. Nice. And that is all the stamping. So let's grab our card base, which is Pool Party, opening at the right side. Let's close this up. And we're going to add a layer again of exposed brick. I just thought that brick went really nicely with this set. It's kind of relaxed and earthy. Okay, let's center this on the base. You have a tiny bit of your pool party showing all the way around. Okay, we have two pieces of Lost Lagoon, look like this, and we're just going to nail those down horizontally. Let's add a little bit of glue back here and come up about an inch, and it goes all the way out to the edge, just like that. Okay, we're going to grab the more narrow piece, and we're going to come up about 1/4 of an inch. Oh, no, I guess that's about 1/8 of an inch there. Okay, and then press down, hold for a second. Okay, lay that over to the side. Grab our piece of Pretty Peacock, and we're going to layer this on top of the peacock. And, ooh, that is not a fit, is it? I tell you what, let me pause. Wasn't that fun? So I cut this new piece to the correct size, and I'm going to layer this stamped image over here on it, just like that. And again, holding it for a second so that that glue has a chance to take hold. We're going to put a little bit of glue on the back side. And we're going to anchor that here. I'm going to come over about 1/2 inch and up 1/2 inch from the bottom, and then just press that down. Okay. Now we have our label with the birthday greeting. We're going to pop that up. So I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on here, just like this. Take off the toppers. Whoops. And that's going right here. So you can kind of judge a little bit. We're going to come up a little bit between, over that little opening right there and over about 1/8 of an inch. So then just press that down. The last thing that we have to do is put on our bling, which, as you know, is one of my favorite things to do. So we're going to come up here in this space, come down here a little bit, and our last one is going right here. And then your card is ready for sending. I hope you enjoyed this evening. Again, if you would like a free kit to make 2 of each of these, get your order placed for $35 by 3/17 and use that host code down there in the description. If you would like also a pack of embellishments with that, make that order for $50. I hope that you did enjoy this evening, and you will join us again next month on the second Tuesday of April. Take care.